Hello and welcome to the fifth video. In this video we're going to look at how to fill out the fourth and fifth columns, and to do this I'm going to use a client called Tariq, and again I've changed his name. Tariq was suffering from depression for several years and was having relationship difficulties with his wife Yasmin. One day he came home from a particularly stressful day at work to his wife, who was just leaving the house to meet up with friends to go out for dinner. He was very angry at this and started shouting at her that she should be in when he got home to give him his dinner. Not appreciating this outburst, Yasmin went out with her friends anyway. So Tariq filled out a thought log. Now note, he's been doing this for quite some time, so he was able to keep the ratings of the evocative thoughts in his mind and just underline the one that he knew he was particularly sensitive to. So if we take a look at his thought records, we've got the situation: he's just come home from work, he's feeling anger at 90%. The thoughts he had immediately were, I need to smoke, she doesn't care about me, it's just my luck to have such a bad wife. He's pinpointed, she doesn't care about me, as the thought which hurts the most. So he's actually underlined that. That has made him angry. Again, as he's very angry, he's able to write down quite a lot of evidence straight away in the fourth column. He's got, she doesn't make me breakfast, she doesn't make me feel good about myself, she nags me to clean up, she doesn't appreciate how hard I work, she always looks unhappy with me. Now notice that the final two statements he's got there, they're not actually facts, they're interpretations. He's been interpreting what Yasmin's facial expression means. He's also mind reading how appreciative or unappreciative she is about his working hard at work. Now, unless Tariq begins to ask her and checks out with her, what did that expression mean, or what do you think, he can't include that. So do be very careful about that. Now, in the fifth column, this is about evidence against what he's been thinking. Now, as opposed to the other column where he can rattle off a whole load of things which have made him angry, this is going to be hard work. This is asking him to come out of that anger and think about things that contradict what he's thinking. Now, memory is state dependent. That means that all your memories are linked together by the similarities and emotions you had when you were having this, the original memory was made. So when you're happy, it's easy to think about all the memories you had when you were happy. When you're distressed, it's easier to think about those. When you're unhappy, it's easy to think about those. So to ask you to come out of the one set of memories linked by one emotion and think about another one, that is actually quite a challenge, so you will have to practice that. I usually suggest having a little change in your environment, like get up, have a walk around, go outside, get some fresh air. If you can't do something like that, just change your posture, pull yourself up a little bit. If you found that you've begun to slouch or you're lying down, just sit up, take a few deep breaths, and then try and fill out that column. If you want to look at the top tip box, it's coming up now. So we've got there, ask yourself, have I been in this type of situation before? How was it resolved? Can I use any of this past learning now? In a year's time, will I look at this incident differently? How? Is my thought true 100% of the time? What about when it's untrue? What are things like then? If I were telling my best friend about this, what would they say to me? Is there one tiny piece of evidence I'm ignoring right now? So if we look back to Tariq's thought log, you'll see he's managed to write, she supported me through my redundancy, she has put up with my depression for years, she has supported me going to therapy, she is usually in the house when I return, and she gives me dinner. So, when you're doing your own thought logs, it may be tempting to do it all in your head, especially if you don't have a log to hand. What I would suggest is keep a log, copy of a log, in your bag, in the glove box, drawer at work, or in electronic form, somewhere very accessible. I particularly like when people write these by hand. It's just so interesting to see how people's handwriting changes through the different columns. That's not to say you can't get ideas of how you were feeling and which state you were in looking at it electronically, because you can still look at how sentence construction changes, how sentence length changes. That's particularly apparent when we get to the 6th column, is how these things change. That might be something just to keep an eye on. So practice those, and then when you're ready, go on to the next video. But remember, you are learning to change a thinking style you've had for many years. You're learning to be more flexible in your thinking. So do give yourself lots of time with this.